Carrington, Palmer Mayor, taking you 5 days into the future for our March 11th, 2025 Palmer City Council meeting. And I was actually talking on the radio, and we were talking about there's a meeting coming up on March 18th at the Palmer Depot for the, what are they calling it, the Glen Highway Arctic Avenue to Palmer-Fishhook. So this is kind of the first public meeting they're having for that. I think it starts at 5:30, Tuesday, March 18th at the Palmer Depot. But I got talking and we were going, well, but they haven't finished phase 2. How is that supposed to work? And so I was trying to dig around, find a little bit. It's talking about, reconstructing the highway into a 4-lane divided highway with a grassy median in the center. We aim to reduce head-on and left turn collisions. Other work along this corridor will include adding right and left turn lanes with traffic signals, enhancing the Colleen Street intersection, adding frontage roads, widening the shoulder, and constructing a 10-foot wide separated path along the Glen Highway. But this is down by the lakes, down by the Kepler and Matanuska lakes. And I'm still not quite sure how they're going to fit it all between the lakes there. So it'd be kind of interesting if they're doing a access road or what. Have to do a little more digging, see if we can find out some more details on the specs for that. But also for phase 3, which is what the Arctic Avenue to Palmer-Fishhook is about. I believe it's not going to start for another year or so. But that, like I said, that public meeting is on March 18th and could be interesting. I plan to go and find out what is going on. I also was giving people reminders. We've still got some openings on our Planning and Zoning Commission, our Board of Economic Development, and our Parks and Advisory Board. And you can go to palmerak.org/BC to get to boards and commissions and find out more information and even get an application to apply or contact our clerk's office. And then for our actual meeting, some of the highlights we have are, let's see, of course there's minutes, there's a couple proclamations, there's one recognizing World Down Syndrome Day, which is on March 21st, 2025, so we'll be doing that on the meeting on March 11th, and then a proclamation declaring April 9th, 2025 as Education and Sharing Day, and that's usually done with our local rabbi. And then we have a presentation from the Planning and Zoning Resolution number 25-002 by the Planning and Zoning Commissioner Chair Penny Mosher. The commission has done a resolution, and it actually is kind of in connection to the Palmer-Fishhook, Arctic Avenue to Palmer-Fishhook extension. So this is their way of doing a resolution officially, kind of weighing in what they think are the important things for DOT in this as they're developing this project. And then we have a public hearing for amending the Palmer budget and an action memorandum for approving a community council grant to the 49th State Street Rodders. Requested amount of $1,000 in-kind services for the Valley Chrome and Wheel Car Show. I believe that's coming up, I want to say the first weekend in May, but we'll check and get back with that on that. And I also listed when I was down in Juneau for the Alaska Municipal League Conference, the Conference of Mayors had some resolutions that they were sharing with the other mayors and trying to get people to kind of sign on. And those were, let's see, a resolution calling for an increase to the base student allocation, imposing required local contribution of any effort by the state of Alaska to increase the required local contribution. The second one was a resolution urging continuance of sufficient funding for the Alaska Marine Highway System. And the third one is a resolution supporting fiscal impact analyses of all proposed legislation to assess potential costs to local governments to avoid unfunded mandates. And the fourth one is a resolution opposing any legislation which would increase the burden on PERS and TERS employers beyond the current employer contribution limits of 22% for PERS and 12.56% for TERS. So I just wanted to include those. That was part of what the mayors were looking at when they were down in Juneau. And so otherwise, it's a pretty simple meeting. So this has been Steve Carrington, Palmer Mayor, taking you 5 days into the future for our March 11th, 2025 Palmer City Council meeting.